What's up YouTube, Kyron back up in here with another video, and today we have a kind of half and half type of video. First is going to be kind of like a discussion slash talk, and the other portion is going to be like a little slight version of a pickups. You guys know like pickups is like the main thing that I have on this channel just because there's a constant rotation of clothing on this channel, of course, and you guys know like I'm a stylist, do content creation, so there's always stuff coming in, there's always stuff coming out. So of course I have to show you guys a couple little gems. But on a more serious note, I've been wanting to make this video for quite some time just because this figure had such a big impact on my life personally within fashion, and then also just a really big part in this channel in its entirety. And I just figured it would be a great little thing to just discuss with you guys, have like an open dialogue conversation thing. And I'm just giving like a pretense or like a little like disclaimer. Any type of like negative comments or anything, like I'm being pretty vulnerable with like this side. I don't really tend to get too vulnerable on YouTube in general, so like I just wanted to use this as a time to like really communicate with you guys and like see if there's any other people out there that share a similar story. I had recently watched one of Bliss Foster's videos discussing the topic of Virgil, and I just like felt a lot of like similarities in our stories or like how we interacted with him as a figure in fashion. So I just figured it was a great time to make a video like this, and of course like I'll have his videos linked down in the description box below so that you guys could go check them out for yourselves because they're beautiful pieces of content, and he puts so much time and effort into those videos. But all that to say, here we have a video. Let's talk about Virgil. So I wanted to open up this conversation with Virgil's impact on the early beginnings of my journey within fashion. If you guys don't know, and if you guys are newcomers to the channel, this channel has been here for about 9 years now, coming up on 10, which is kind of crazy. It feels like forever ago since I was sitting in my room, as I am pretty much similar to this day, but in a lot more of a different context. I've grown a lot since then, and if I asked myself at that time, like that younger version of myself, if I were to see where I am today, I would never believe it was possible. Of course, I knew that fashion was the only option for me, but in my younger self, I just knew that it was something I loved. I didn't know that this platform could blossom into something that I could call a slight career or a means of income or whatever you may see it as, or like a passion project slash hobby that I'm able to support myself with. So I never thought that that would be possible, and a huge part in solidifying that platform was the different sub niches on the internet that I found myself a part of at that age. And a really big transition into that was discovering brands such as Pyrex and Hood by Air. And I found myself on the internet all the time. It was like one of the only few places where I was able to find like-minded people that really resonated with what I was enjoying at the time. Tumblr was like my safe haven. Everything made sense there because it was like a curated version of everything you wanted to enjoy. Especially like a younger kid, you just get stimulated by so many different things. And like my environment at the time, nobody was involved in fashion for the most part. I found a couple people within my city that were like-minded enough, but like within my school there was nobody close friends. There was a handful, nothing too crazy. It was more like skate culture, and that was the closest thing I could get to it. But as far as fashion, there was nobody, so I really looked to the internet to find my common grounding and like really my purpose, you know, and like find people that were similar to me, and also kind of like figures that I could look to and that were a lot more grand than me, like people that were kind of like grandfathers of this whole fashion space that I looked up to, you know. And a big player in that, of course, was Kanye. So many other people as well. Like I would say, like at that time when I found out about Rick Owens and when I found out about Kanye, when I even found out about Kanye, I've heard about Kanye for so long, but when I was more interested in Kanye's endeavors in fashion, kind of opened up a whole other world, and like seeing all the multifacets that he had with Donda and creating powerful name-worthy people in today's age, such as like Justin Saunders from Jown, Jerry Lorenzo from Fear of God, Virgil Abloh, the late great Virgil Abloh from Off-White, and of course Louis Vuitton, and Kanye with the massive Yeezy brand. There's just like so many powerhouse people coming out of that camp that it was like, that was my version of the Avengers, you know what I mean? Like I looked to them, I was like, damn, like they made it possible. And I never thought that something like that could ever happen for like a black person, you know what I mean? Like I never never thought that was ever in our cards at all, you know what I mean? So the more I started to see them as like my version of the Avengers, as corny as that sounds, I just gravitated more and more towards Virgil Abloh's work. And a lot of the early stages when I was working at a fashion boutique when I was younger, and I loved all of these brands, I was just like starting to be able to see these clothes in person and save up all of my money and like buy these pieces that made me feel like myself, you know, like when I bought into Shane Oliver's stuff from Hood by Air, when I bought into Virgil Abloh stuff from Pyrex, like I blew my whole first paycheck on that Hood by Air and Pyrex video. If you guys see like one of my earlier videos that really like blew up on the channel for me was that Hood by Air and Pyrex video, and I was so like, oh my god, I'm so young in that. Like if you guys want to see like a reaction video of my old YouTube videos, I would love to do that. I think I'll do that for like my 10-year anniversary, or if like I hit 100k, which I hope we do. We're well on our way, so we'll definitely have that soon. I want to get more reaction style videos going on the channel. I think that's pretty fun. Do like a little screen recording segments and other things of that nature, so be on the lookout for that. But all that to say, like that early video really set the pace for me, and I never knew that something like this could even be possible, like I said before. And Virgil really set the tone for that for me, and to see a streetwear brand blossom into something that passed Pyrex and went into Off-White was just like magnificent, you know what I mean? Like I never ever would have thought that that would be possible. And also just as I grew within fashion, this person seemed like such an untouchable person to me, like literally like a god. I saw him as like a god figure, which is like you should never do to like celebrities or like other people like that. But I never really get starstruck, and I never have. I think the only time I would be is like if I met Drake or Ye. I'd probably have like a out of body moment, be like, damn, like this is crazy. But to these people, I still look up to them, you know what I mean? And they still like helped raise me when it came to fashion. So when cards were dealt on the table and these people came into my life, like when I was able to meet Virgil, like I never, like it made me feel like things are possible, you know? So that's gonna transition me into the middle second chapter of this video, which would be my personal experience meeting Virgil. I don't want this to come off as like braggadocious or anything. I just want to share my experience, as I'm sure a lot of you guys have had your own experiences with him. One common thing that I seen on Bliss's video compared to mine that I'm making right now is that like I really do side with what Bliss said. Like he made everyone feel very heard and understood, and the fact that he took the time out to like acknowledge even the smallest person like made their day, and he didn't understand like how impactful that was to anyone, you know? So it really, people don't understand how like a small act of kindness like that could really like impact a person for the rest of their life. And there is this one night where I went to École Privée. It was a night where Virgil Abloh was doing a DJ set there. École Privée is a nightclub in Montreal, if you guys don't know. And this is back when he was doing like these flat white performances, like these DJ sets that he was doing quite frequently. He was going to like place to place and doing these DJ sets that were so much fun, very entertaining and life filled. And I was just grateful to even go there. I didn't know what was going to come of it, but using this as like a networking opportunity. I'm not really an opportunist, but like I like being in environments with like-minded people like that and just getting immersed in culture. As I said before, Virgil was like one of the people I looked up to the most, and to be able to like see him spin live, and I loved like the music curation that he had at the time. So I was just there for literally the vibes. I know I abused that word, but literally for the vibes. It was great. I ended up meeting Ian Connor at that time. I ended up hanging out with him for a decent amount of the night, and he ended up introducing me to Virgil, and we had like a conversation, one that has lasted the rest of my life. Like he just let me know to like keep on pushing, and that he's actually he's seen some of the stuff that I've done when it came to the videos and things of that nature, which I have no idea how he was able to see it, especially back then. Like I have no clue. He was always like, keep on going, like keep on pushing. And just to hear that from a person that I looked up to was like validation enough. I was like, I gotta keep going. Like no matter what this is, like it's a hobby or whatever, like I know there's something with this. I have to keep on pushing with it. And for him to acknowledge a person as small as me and a bunch of people across the world, it gave that notion to me to like do the same for others. So like whenever people DM me, I try to answer as much as I can. Any type of words of inspiration, any comment, anything, like I try to acknowledge anyone I can. And by no means am I a top level figure, but if I'm able to provide a hint of inspiration to anyone or know-how, I want to make sure that person is feeling welcomed, you know what I mean? And just like how Virgil was able to make me feel that way, you know what I mean? So all that said, Virgil really inspired a generation, and I just wanted to make sure to let that be known. I'm really grateful to have ever graced his presence. I'm sure the rest of the world has been grateful to grace his presence. He really left a stamp on the world and let people know that you could do it too. No matter who you are, black, purple, blue, white, anything, you can make this possible. To know that a black man from Chicago could go and take over the house of Louis Vuitton, one of the most notorious fashion houses of all time, is insane. You know what I mean? Like, without a doubt, whatever you have to say about him, about his work, if it was like too playful, too non-serious, or it didn't resonate with you, you have to acknowledge that man's work ethic and what he was able to do for the fashion industry and break those doors down for young creatives and young black creatives at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So rest in peace, Virgil. That shit like broke me, man. That sucked, like, when he left. But I know, just as Bliss said, he wouldn't want us to be upset. He would want us to take the torch, carry that thing, and keep on pushing this culture forward and really set the tone, you know? So that's about it. I appreciate you guys for coming by this video once again. And on a brighter note, to lighten up the mood, of course, I have to dive into these pickups real quick, real quick, real slight. And who would I be to not commemorate Virgil? Get some Louis pieces. So Virgil was at Louis Vuitton for about six to seven collections, if I'm correct. And I'm not up like that, you know what I mean? I have to try and find my way to save, get the pieces that I want. But when he passed, I was like, there's nothing else past this point, you know what I mean? And I didn't want to be in the same position where I was when I was younger, and I just couldn't flat out afford it when I used to see like Marc Jacobs Louis, and I used to lust over that and be drooling over these pieces that looked so fascinating to me. But I just was not in a position to afford that at all. Still, in my current state, it's not feasible to get these type of things, but just from a point of culture and a point of the impact that Virgil had on me, I just didn't feel right not buying into anything of this and like archiving it and just like keeping it as like a nostalgic token, especially with all that the Pyrex and Hood by Air video did for my channel. I feel like it's such like an impactful thing that it only felt right to buy into like a couple of pieces from the Louis Vuitton stuff. So just wanted to really give that some time. Dive into this real quick. And this is a Louis Vuitton gilet, or a vest. It's this knit ribbed vest. He had a similar one from the first collection with these like 3D pockets. It was in orange. That was like the first one from the first collection, but this black one is from a more recent collection. I don't remember which one exactly, but my oh my, is this like a beautiful piece. Incredible. Never thought I'd be able to acquire anything like this. A friend of mine helped me out with the sourcing, and it's just beautiful overall, you know? So grateful to have something like this. The Louis Vuitton tag right here. Crazy. It's just magnificent overall. I probably just showcase it like this because to me this is like an art piece. Don't really have much time to get into the try on clips today, but in the future you guys will definitely see me styling this on Instagram and other things of that nature. It's just like incredible to even see that in person. To me, wow, it's so cool. Like really cool. Like, I love the orange one from the first collection, and to see the black one, it's obviously more wearable, and two, like, never a piece I ever thought I would have in my personal collection, so I'm just grateful to have it. Next piece is a piece I've always wanted as well. The gilet was more of a surprise. This is definitely something I wanted to acquire for quite some time. Louis Vuitton gift wrapping. So I've had this closed since December, funny enough. So you guys think like I just go wild sometimes, but literally I just hold things for videos a majority of the time. But this, what could it be? Okay. Gonna slide this out, and here we have it. Hopefully we're able to focus a little bit, but the white is definitely blasting it out. But we have the Louis Vuitton LV trainer. I've always wanted at least one of these shoes, just because it's like, this is like a pivotal moment in culture. It's like he brought the Jordan 3 to Louis Vuitton. Like, that's insane. You know what I mean? And even like doing like the Air Force, like the Nike Air Force Louis, like so many groundbreaking things for culture was done by Virgil. And I'm just like, I had to do a little something. This is like my little nod to him. Like, I see you, bro. Like, you know, so beautiful. Such a nice sneaker, and I'm really excited to wear it in the summer. I've just been having this in the corner of my room because, like, you guys know Montreal weather is insane. Can't really do much with it. So all I've been wearing is boots, and that's what I plan on wearing until it's like literally clear on the ground, no salt, no nothing. So these will be tucked away in a bag for the meantime, but I'm really excited to pop these out whenever my time is ready. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys sticking by the channel once again. Of course, rest in peace to Virgil. In the comments below, you guys let me know your experience with Virgil, if you've ever met him, or just like even an experience personally, like how he inspired you, anything. I just want to hear like a little bit of a conversation, a dialogue, a little like an open testament to him as a creative. So that was just like one of the few stories I had with, want to get more involved with that. Like as I get involved with like commentary videos and like maybe I'll get into live streaming and stuff like that down the line, but like this is just like a first opening up to that and being a bit more vulnerable with you guys, and I hope you guys appreciate it. Of course, make sure to go like this video if you haven't already, subscribe if you're new, follow the boy on Instagram. GOTSWEIGE is where you can keep up to date with me more frequently. I post fit pics, this and that, so that's what you can check out on there. I'm gonna check you guys out on the next one. Have a great day and have a great rest of your week. Peace.